Hello, my name is John Kraus. I am the welding instructor here at the Elkhart Area Career Center. I'm entering my 17th year of teaching and a few more years before I retire. In this lesson, what you're going to be learning to do is starting out with basic fundamentals of TIG welding or GTAW, gas tungsten arc welding. We'll be going over safety. We'll be going over machine setup. And we will be going over simple procedures on how to do an aluminum pad. Okay, right here, a pair of safety glasses is probably going to be your #1 safety device to protect yourself at all times. Most OSHA regulations require you to have this in any kind of space with any kind of hazardous work going on. They're not that expensive, although the ranges do vary on how sophisticated you want to get them, okay, and how long they last. This is probably a $3 pair right here. People get them scratched up, and you can just easily throw this away and grab you a new pair. Make sure you have a safe pair. If they get damaged in any way, you want to throw it away and grab a new pair, because once they're scratched or anything like that, they're no longer viable as a safety device. Okay? Safety device #2 for welding is going to be your welder's helmet. Okay, it's a must. You can't weld without one. We're not doing Uncle Bob's welding in the garage where you can sit there and squint, or put on a lower shaded pair of goggles or oxyacetylene or anything like that, which those are usually #5. A standard lens and a welding helmet starts at shade 10. Now, since this is a newer helmet, okay, this one here happens to be the 3350 from Lincoln Electric. Very good helmet. Have no complaints about it. It works. Okay, it works, and it's pretty durable. It's as safe as it gets. It's solar powered, solar assisted, I should say, battery powered, solar assisted. You can use this as a grinding shield if you have to, and you'll just push the grind button over here on the side, and you'll see it flash in here on your screen. Okay, your screen, if you can see that inside there. Okay, and then when you put this on, you're going to put it on, and you're going to adjust the size of it so that make it a little bit bigger, bring it down just above the ears. Okay, and then you're going to loosen the sides so that it will want to fall down, but not all the way. Okay, like that. And then you're ready to create a spark. Now, when you lift this up, you want it to stay that way. Okay, some of them are too loose and they fall back down. Okay, you want to get this adjusted a lot of times, so when you are, especially when you're TIG welding and you're sitting there to get your hands set and your filler rod set, okay, then when your foot is on the foot pedal, you're going to be ready to go, right? So you're like, okay, I don't want to have to let go of everything. So you have the tension set right on your helmet, so it goes down with a nod, and then you're ready to weld. Okay, and I'll be demonstrating this later. Next, we have a pair of TIG gloves, or gas tungsten arc welding gloves. You want these in good working order. Okay. Yes, I have my name on them, Mr. Kraus. You want to make sure you're using new gloves, not a bunch of cut up gloves, especially if you're doing aluminum, because it will conduct electricity and shock you if you have a hole in your glove anywhere. Okay, just to let you know. You'll notice that these are a lot thinner. Okay, they're usually made out of goat skin or llama skin. A lot of times they're made in Pakistan or China or Taiwan, places like that. It's hard to get gloves made in the USA anymore. There's a few brands out there, but you're going to pay for them. Usually your TIG gloves wear out often enough that you can substitute them with another new pair quite easily. They probably run you around 20 bucks a pair. Okay? If you compare these to your MIG gloves, okay, you can see these like this. Reach over here, grab me a pair of MIG gloves. There you go, MIG gloves. They're a lot heavier duty because MIG welding has a lot more spatter. It has a lot more heat as far as the general area. Okay, these are a lot heavy duty. As you can see, if I set them next to these are TIG gloves, how much thicker they are, and you know they're pretty thick, heavy duty stuff. There's your TIG gloves, and there's your MIG gloves. You can see just how much heavier duty they are when you compare them. Okay, and I'll give you close-ups of both of these so that you can tell the difference when you look at this, because you got to know if you got the right gloves when you go do your PPE gear. Okay, one of our most controversial pieces of equipment is our welding jacket. Okay, this one happens to be from Lincoln Electric. I enjoy their products. They're very durable, reasonably priced, I would say, but you know, not always worn correctly because of the summertime. Okay, welding jackets get hot in the summertime. You have a lot of guys that go out and they'll be wearing, you know, tank tops, thin shirts that just aren't going to get it. You know, maybe even just a short sleeve shirt. If you're going to wear a short sleeve shirt and no jacket, you need to have sleeves, which I don't have a pair of those, but because usually my guys are always wearing their jackets and stuff in here, and that's just part of our rules in our class here.